a spark that stayed in the ashtray. On the CJP protest and the politics of convenient anger. A large number of young people gathered at Jantar Mantar in Delhi to protest against exam irregularities and paper leaks, demanding the resignation of Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan. Slogans were raised against godi media and the collapse of the education system. The Cockroach Janta Party was born 3 weeks ago, on May 16, 2026, the day after Chief Justice Surya Kant, from the velvet bench of the Supreme Court, reportedly dismissed unemployed youth and government critics as youngsters like cockroaches, who don't get any employment or have any place in the profession, and they start attacking everyone. In response to that remark, the satirical party's Instagram account crossed 3 million followers within 78 hours. Within 5 days, it surpassed 10 million, overtaking the BJP's own digital presence, which now commands over 20 million. Yesterday, it came to the streets. The numbers are not gentle. Youth unemployment for ages 20 to 24 has hovered between 44 and 45% across several months of 2025, according to the Center for Monitoring Indian Economy. The official figure for ages 15 to 29 stood at 15.2% as recently as March 2026, already 3 times the national average and rising. Behind every statistic is a specific humiliation. A student spent 3 years preparing for the NEET, sat the exam, and then watched it be cancelled after a question paper leaked for 32 lakh rupees a copy. Coaching institutes in Kota charge more than a year's family income for preparatory courses, so students' futures become a business under this private coaching mafia. Students who cannot pay such huge amounts are out of the race. Even after getting coaching and paying for expensive exam forms, either the paper leaks or the exam gets cancelled. That hopelessness leads students to give up on their lives. The age group 15 to 29 years is considered one of the most vulnerable groups for suicide in India according to the World Health Organization, WHO. The BJP government deepened colonial educational structures. Foreign finance capital entered the university space under Congress. The BJP accelerated it while dressing it in the language of decolonization. The NEP opened the gates further. Saffronization drove out critical thought. The NTA, NEET, and UGC NET are designed to keep students from worker and peasant backgrounds out of universities. The paper leak is not corruption at the margins. It is the system working as designed, since it needs an army of unemployed people to keep the working conditions and wages of those who are employed low. Education is a right in a semi-feudal formation only on paper. In reality, it is a commodity. Those with 32 lakh rupees buy the question paper while others repeat the exam, if there is a re-exam at all. A minister's resignation is not a transformation of production relations. Dharmendra Pradhan can go. The NTA can be restructured, and NEET can go digital, but 40% of young graduates will still be unemployed because the problem is not the exam. It is the political economy that produces the exam as the only door and then sells the key. Before the protest, CJP founder Abhijit Dipke tweeted an instruction for his followers to offer flowers to policemen as a gesture of compassion and gratitude. And so they did. Young protesters handed roses to the men in khaki standing behind the barricades. These are not neutral men in uniform. The Delhi Police Special Cell, as recently as March 2026, abducted 11 student and labor activists, including members of Bhagat Singh Chhatra Ekta Manch and the Mazdoor Adhikar Sanghathan. They were abducted and subjected to custodial torture, caste-based abuse, and sexual violence. These same institutional hands beat students on the campus of Jamia Millia Islamia in December 2019, when young people protested the Citizenship Amendment Act and the NRC, and in March 2020, Lathy charged migrant workers on the road to Anand Vihar who were walking hundreds of kilometers home, barefoot, without food, because a lockdown notice had evaporated their livelihoods overnight. The protest was sandwiched between the barricades at a designated protest site, and it was quite obvious that it was peaceful, as evidenced by its banner. It is not surprising that this protest was permitted, given that Noida workers and activists were jailed for protesting to demand wage increases, and students were arrested for demanding clean air in Delhi. People are angry about the NEET paper leak, the gas cylinder that costs more than a day's wage, and the diesel prices that swallow transport workers' earnings before they begin. That anger is real, widespread, and dangerous to those in power. This protest gives the anger somewhere to go without threatening the foundations. To make real change, the middle class shall integrate with the workers and peasants and shatter the structure based on the exploitation of man by man. Protesting cannot be convenient because it is meant to disrupt. We will have to disrupt the rotten exploitative structure and build a new democratic society.